And just to add to that, man, you have to keep in mind the mindset of the younger generation. You know what I'm saying? When you start talking about, hey man, let's show them certain stories and let's show them, different examples. That only works on people who at the maturity level at that point to want to hear what you're talking about, because you got a lot of success stories, like I said in the last video, right there in the city. You got a lot of people that own their own restaurants, own their own businesses, own their own clubs, barbershops, etc., etc. And I personally know some of you people that own these businesses. But keep in mind that these same people that own these, that's going about doing the right thing, law-abiding, paying their taxes, running legitimate businesses, they coming in and out these businesses with their pistol on them, just so they can make sure they can get in and out these businesses safe. Just in case one of these knuckleheads run up in there and try to rob and try to do something to them. We got an example of somebody out there in the city running a legitimate business and they got killed out there for somebody just out there being ignorant, being a knucklehead. So when you talking about, hey man, let's sit them down and we can tell them these stories, that only works on the people that want to hear what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, we know this. Some of these young bucks don't want to hear nothing we talking about, no matter what you show them, no matter what facts you show them. If you ain't got the name or the type of the stuff that these young folks own, and we ain't even got to talk about, or showing big stacks of money, man, they don't want to hear you. They don't look at the long game. You know what I'm saying? The younger generation is about that. They ain't thinking about tomorrow. They ain't thinking about 5 years down the line, and that's the mindset that you got to have, or at least the mindset that you are trying to attain, to sit down and listen to anybody to try to tell you to do right, or a success story. You can do this, or you can do this, and you can be great, or you know what I'm saying, outside of what you used to, or what they grew up on, or what's been passed down for generation to generation. Like, man, you got to understand, we are trying to break 400 plus years of a mindset that was set in place through blood, sweat, tears, death, and like I said, just all this sin. And so you can't think that you just gonna break it, just by, it's gonna take just as much as that work to get the mindset that, or the level of thinking that you're trying to get the younger generation to have. It's a whole, hundreds and hundreds of years of generational curses that you're trying to break. It ain't just, hey man, we just gonna have this mindset and this is what we gonna say and this is what we gonna do and we gonna go this way. No, man, this a fight. This a battle. And you got to be willing to put that work in. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand that if you, at some point, you got to start getting tired of what's going on in your community and what's going on around you. You got to start getting upset. You got to stop, when you start voting these politicians in and voting these people in, it got to be bigger than just photo ops. It got to be bigger than you just hanging with the mayor in the club, or you like this governor, or you like this city councilman because they say something funny on TV. Like, it got to be deeper than that. So when you start talking about mindset, it's from top to bottom, So it's just something to think about when you start talking about what I would call a communication gap between our generation or older generations versus the young generation. You did, just something to think about.